As we get into fall, the days are getting shorter, and the amount of light that's inside the building keeps getting to be less and less. So I'm finding that I need some light inside the building. So it's time to get after the electrical. Hey, welcome back to Building at the Woods. We're a multi-generational family building 2 homesteads in western Michigan. We call our homestead project the Hazelwood Build and the kids' homestead the Wildwood Build. We both take an empty land and are building homes from the ground up, doing most of the work ourselves and helping each other as we go. If you're interested in the DIY way of life, you're in the right place. One of our next needs for the build is to get lights rigged up inside the building so we can see to work inside. The first actions for this phase are to get power from our power shed over to the house and into the electrical panels. We're digging trenches and wrestling a lot of big cables in this video. I need to dig a trench that goes from the side of the house over here across this little driveway over to the power shed. It'll go up through a hole in the slab and we'll tie it into the electrical system here. In addition to the electrical line, I need to put a pipe in there as well. This pipe is going to carry non-treated water back to the house, and it'll go out to spigots on the north side of the building, probably some spigots on the south side as well, so that Karen can water her garden and flowers and stuff like that with non-filtered water. That means that I'm going to have to put that trench down deep enough that it doesn't freeze. So, yeah, who'd have thought? Well, I've got a trench dug here for the secondary water line and the electrical line, coming between the power shed and the house over here. I've dug down underneath the footing, and there's actually a little tunnel that we're going to feed the pipe through, and then it'll just feed down this trench up into a hole in the power shed. Karen's inside the house, down in the crawl space, getting ready to feed me pipe. Okay, I'm ready. What? I'm ready. Are you ready? Okay. She fed me the end of the pipe through that little tunnel underneath the footing, and I grabbed that and just started pulling gently, trying to give her time to unspool this 100-foot spool of pipe as I would tug on it. We really couldn't hear each other very well, so we just had to take it easy and kind of feel our way through the process. I think that's enough. That seemed to go pretty good.
Yeah.
That's enough.
Are you up in the utility?
No, but I have enough pipe to go up into the utility shed. I need you to help me guide it over there. So I think we're done here.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. You want to take the little clam shovel and kind of fill in a little bit of the hole here. The clam shovel's sitting right over there.
Fill in the hole that you just dug?
Yes.
Is that the only thing that's going underneath?
That's correct.
Oh.
We did it exclusively for your non-filtered water, babe.
Oh, thank you.
The other thing that's going in the trench is that cable.
Yeah, but it's going to the side of the house.
Correct.
Yeah. This is just water.
Thank you for uncoiling that.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure whether or not you were doing okay, but I just was trying to listen for you to yell stop or something like that.
I couldn't understand you.
Okay. Nice steel-toed boots there, babe.
Oh yeah.
So over here in the power shed, we've got a hole in the middle of our concrete that we use kind of as a chase for things coming up out of the ground. And we've gone ahead and dug around, and you can kind of see daylight down there. I'm going to try to feed that up to Karen. That'll be the outgoing line over to the house of unfiltered water. Alright. Just help. Creating an avalanche. Can you see it? Yeah, it's laying pretty nice in the trench. Okay, let me go grab that electrical cable. I stopped. I don't know, 4 feet. Maybe let's go 6 feet. I'm above the top of the gray box. Let me come look. Before we push it farther, let's unroll it and just kind of see how much length we have on the other end.
Okay. Want me over there helping?
Sure.
Hang on. Wait. Probably want to go underneath that.
I don't really care. I think I do want to go underneath the Cat 5 cable.
I have your shovel.
Pardon?
I have your shovel.
Thank you. not very good with a tractor yet, but it definitely helps some.
Oh, definitely.
Before we fill that in, we need to figure out that gray tube that wire needs to be embedded in.
Yeah.
So I got my cable and my pipe buried. Before I fill in this part of the hole, I need to take this cable here and put it in a tube, and then marry that up with a with this panel. This is going to be a service disconnect, 200 amp service disconnect. This panel's got some features that allow you to have some additional breakers out here, but the main thing is that power comes in here on the top and then comes out here on the bottom. So power coming out is actually going to go feed through that hole, and it's actually going to be this hole and into the house and down to a breaker panel. And then that pipe needs to connect to the center hole going down out of the box. One of the things that makes this difficult is just this wire is not very flexible. So anytime you're trying to bend it or feed it somewhere, it's just a pain in the butt. This is 4/0, 4/0, 4/0, 2/0. You might also be thinking, why did you put this extra piece over here? Well, in case I ever have a meter that comes here. If I get city power, if I get connected up to the grid someday, put a meter box right there, and we'll have their line come up into the meter box and then over. Like it, babe?
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I got the box mounted. The conduit is in place. The wire's up through the conduit. I just need to backfill a little bit more. And then I need to make some connections. Start running wire inside the house.
Hey, Grandpa.
And of course, the grandsons are here. What do they need?
No. Papa.
Yeah.
I
I want to ride?
Yeah.
That's what you're saying? Okay. Hang on. Alright.
Oh, wait.
You like Grandpa sit?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You gotta get up. Grandpa's sitting in Grandpa's seat.
Bye, Papa. Papa. Oh, wait. Oh, wait.
Well, I took the grandsons for a ride. We even did something useful. We went down to the mailbox and picked up the mail for Grandma. The red stuff is gasoline.
Maybe more diesel?
diesel goes in here. Yeah, the yellow tank is what we put in here. The red tank is what we put in Grandpa's truck. All right, time to go eat, I think. Let's go. Well, after dinner, we got back to work, filling that last bit of the hole in, and getting that service pipe set in place. Once we get this done, we'll be ready to start wiring up that panel. So this morning I'm out here working on the electrical panel that is the service for our house. In reality, this is just a disconnect. This is not really a typical service box because we actually get our power locally from our solar system exclusively. However, I'm trying to set this thing up so that in the future, if we were to choose to attach to the grid, that we would be a pretty much normal installation. In that mind, this is a 200 amp service and it's the disconnect for my house. There are actually some breaker spots in here, but we won't be using those at all. It's just simply a place where I can turn on and off the entire power. For now, this is just a sub panel. And so as a sub panel, I have to feed 4 wires to it. 2 hots, a neutral, and a ground. The neutral and ground are usually bonded together here at the service entrance. However, because this is really just a sub panel of our main system over in the power shed, there won't be any bonding that happens. So for now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and run these wires into their appropriate lugs. We've got 3 4-aughts and 1 2-aught. We're going to use the 2-aught as our ground wire. We're going to use the A and the B as our hot legs on the 240 volt circuit, and we'll use the C leg as the neutral wire. This 4-aught wire is aluminum, and so with aluminum wire, it's going to end up being a little bit bigger than copper. It's, however, a lot cheaper. And with aluminum wire, you want to make sure that you don't have oxidation. And so we have this stuff called no aluminum oxidation paste, or no ALOX. No ALOX is what you frequently hear. And you just spread that all over your wire to prevent the oxidation, and that allows the power to flow better through the connection. This 4-aught wire is somewhat difficult to bend just because it's so thick, and it's hard to strip because this casing is actually direct burial rated, which means that you can just put it in the ground and you don't have to put it in conduit. So yeah, difficult to work with, but not too bad. Normally, because the neutral and the ground are bonded together here in the service panel, they didn't actually include a ground bus in here. But because I'm using this as a sub panel, I have to add my own ground bar. So this is the new ground bar that I'm going to install. They've got these sections over here on each side down lower that you can actually install a secondary bar on. All right, now that gets me a ground bar that is mechanically tied to the panel. However, it doesn't give me any place to land a big wire like this. So you also have to buy called a neutral lug kit. That's what I'm using here. It'll actually mount on that bar, but have an opening for a wire that's that size. Do one more thing here. I'm going to label these with some tape, so it's really clear to the inspector what my intentions were with each one of these lines. To look for some green tape. Putting green tape on that would be maybe redundant, but not a bad plan. Okay, so I've got half of these. I've got half of these done. I need to go run that 4/0 cable in through the basement and up the wall into here. It'll attach 2 hots here and neutral there, and I'll have to do another ground. A ground bar landing. Getting there. So I'm down here in the basement, getting ready to run my 4/0 cable. I need to run it from that service entry, the disconnect, which is way over in that corner and up about 6 feet. It needs to come across through all these eye joists, take an elbow, run down through the joists, down here over into the back of the basement where I'm going to actually have my main electrical panel. I haven't actually decided specifically where it's going to be yet, but it's going to be somewhere here in this room. This is my mechanical room. Maybe on this wall, maybe on that wall. Trying to think about what makes the most sense in terms of running wire around the building. While I mull on that thought, I've got my cable over here. This is that 4/0, 2/0, and you need to start unspooling that thing, getting it hung. This cable is super heavy, super non-bendy, super difficult to work with. I think I'm going to start here by unwinding it, just rolling it out, getting all the kinks out of it, and then we'll start drilling holes and threading it. I think it'll be easiest cable if I drill an exact straight line down there. So I think I want to get a chalk line. Put that up first. Alright, so now I've drilled holes all the way through those joists, all the way that far in. And now I'm asking myself the question, why am I not just strapping this cable to the bottom of those joists? It might be a lot easier than actually pulling the cable through that hole. I'll give it a try, and if I can get the cable to run, good. If not, I'm going to pull it and I'm just going to strap it underneath. Okay, from back in this corner room, we need to go across the ceiling here and over down into the mechanical room. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and drill a series of holes through the joist here and try to thread that 4/0 cable through the ceiling there. I think I'm going to go over and get the panel and mount that. That'll give us a little bit more clarity on how much length I need. It's getting kind of dark back here in the back of the basement. Even though I got all those windows out there, it's a little hard to see back in here. Make sure I got the right width here. Ooh. 14 and a half. I think it's fine. I just have to spread it just a little bit. Okay. All right, now we're ready to work on getting that wire over and into this box. Oh, well, I guess I need to drill a hole in that double top plate. Yeah, let's do that first. guys. Almost winded. Yeah, it's really tight. Oh, it's pulling me loose. Do the job, but still. Yeah. All right. Well, the wire is in. Just need to strip it and attach these three guys. And then I got a neutral or a ground. That's I've got to add another bus bar in here. I am surprised they didn't send me a bus bar in here. All right, we need some Noah locks on that. The difficulty here is that I've got to slide all three of these down into their respective holes all at the same time. Just because these wires just do not bend. Woohoo! All right. Gotta pull that cable back through the rest of the way, back out to the service panel, connect it up, And then I got to work inside the power shed to get it connected on this part of it. There's a little slack, but not a lot. I don't know if I can get it any farther in. Try one more time. 1, 2, 3, push! Push, push, push. Yeah. Doesn't seem like we're going anywhere. I think we're done. Well, last night I wasn't able to finish all the work that needs to go on in this panel simply because I didn't have this wire that goes to the breaker panel downstairs in place yet. I needed Karen's help. She helped me run this wire, and I've just stuffed it through into this box, so I'm getting ready to strip it and install it here, and then we'll be able to call this panel done. So we're down to finally making the connection in our power shed to power the house. So Karen and I are over here today, and we're gonna start working on that. The central junction box for our power is actually this box right here. It receives all the power that's coming from the solar system and then disperses it. I'm gonna have to upgrade that system at some point, but for now, I'm only putting out 60 amps of power, so that panel is just fine. But when I triple it and put all 3 inverters in parallel, I'll easily be able to produce more amperage than that box can handle. So we'll have to rewire that at some point. But for today's purposes and for the near term, while we only have the single inverter, this 120 amp panel will be just fine. We have 60 amps coming in, and downstream of that, everything is upsized so much because we're looking forward towards the day when we actually have 180 amps available. Okay, so first thing I'm going to do here is prep the cable coming in. I'm going to leave a couple spools down here sitting on the ground just so that there's extra cable for when we do the upgrade later on. But we'll come up out of that 4/0 cable. We'll go through a junction box that's hanging down here on the side of the wall. It's not there yet. I'll put it there in a minute. And we'll convert down from the 4/0 cable to a 2/0 cable. And then that 2/0 cable will actually run up into this panel and hook into a 100 amp circuit breaker. So even if we had more than 60 amps coming in, that 100 amp breaker would protect the 2/0 cable and the 4/0 cable just fine. And that's really what you want your breakers to do, is protect your cable. So the path for this cable going out is actually going to go right down here. I'm going to put a coupling on that on a piece of pipe. Join that in there like that. That will go down and connect into a box like this. And that's where the 2/0 and the 4/0 it will switch. And then we'll be into the 4/0. All right, now this panel is actually hot. So I do have to be a little careful as I'm working in this panel, just not to short across something that would cause an arc. I'm also wearing rubber gloves, so
Are you and wife happy?
that'll help. That would help if I touch something wrong. Really, the only things that I would be worried about, there's a couple hot pins down here. These guys across the top are hot. Yeah, that's really all. All right, that came out pretty easy. Goes in there like that. That comes in there like that. Go ahead and glue that up. Okay, so the good news is I can put the panel back together. And I don't have to worry about having to do any hot work. See, now we have the easy job of just connecting 4 wires, but I better not say that or I will jinx me. All right, so now that the panel work is completely done and I've got 4 wires coming out of here, those just need to marry up to these 4 wires. And that's way easier said than done, because these are super big wires. So the plan here is to use something called a split bolt to bind the 2 cables together. Basically, it's what like put one cable in here. And then you got one cable that goes in there, and then tighten it up, and they clamp together. Bada bing, bada bang, the way it's supposed to go. make it live. Well, it is super dark outside. It's probably 9 o'clock and we're in September sometime. You saw me wiring the service feed in earlier today. And we got the panel down here. I was like, I gotta do one more thing before I go to bed. I have absolutely got to wire a single light. So I've been down here working by floodlight and headlamp. And what I've done is I've got wires, my first wires in. Got down here to a breaker. It's the wrong size, it's a 20 amp. Should be a 15 for the wire size, but don't care, I'll swap it out later. I just had to see something happen from this panel. So from the panel, we go out and up, come down this other stud into a box. Got a switch there, goes up. Oops, Karen turned the lights off.
Because I thought you were going to turn on the light.
Yep, and there's a light bulb up there. It's just pigtailed in. Doesn't matter. Just had to see it work. Dun, da, da, da. Woohoo! Check that out.
We got electricity.
We got electricity. Ah, one of many, but an important step.
Worth it.
Woohoo! What's next, babe?
Hot tub.
The hot tub. No. More lights.
More lights.
Yep. And outlets.
Yep.
That way we don't have to run long power cords over here to run saws and chop saws. And,
Yeah, get rid of all the extension cords.
yeah. All right. Another day, another step forward. I think that's where we're going to leave you for this episode. Like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. Till we see you on the next one, take care.